Welcome everybody to the Onward Hiatus Tournament Division 1 or Division 3 Finals. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I am joined by my co-caster Snooperfax. How are you today, Snooper?
Pretty good. I'm sitting with a Red Bull, ready to watch some good Onward tonight.
Oh yeah, it is going to be an exciting time. I mean, both of these teams, Quest Tickles and OJC, are both seasoned teams in the VRML. Despite them being in Division 3, they're both teams that have good players on them. And I'll be honest, I haven't had a lot of eyes on OJC in 1.8, so I just don't even know what strategies they're going to bring to the table today. I guess the same goes for Quest Tickles too. Like what are we going to expect today, Snooper? It's kind of a wild card.
I want to say I saw one of their games earlier, and OJC is definitely a team that has worked on their teamwork and communication to a level that I don't think a lot of teams are at right now in 1.8. And they also have the advantage of that they can speak Japanese.
Sure.
So all their callouts are virtually
coded.
Like, no, the other team can't hear it. They can't understand it. All
Right.
they hear is Japanese. They don't know if they're saying, they're calling out that person, and that helps them immensely.
Sure.
So OJC is definitely a well-practiced team. They definitely know how to take on teams like Quest Tickles. And I mean, it's anyone's game at this point, because as you said, Quest Tickles is a veteran team too. Going back to season 1 almost?
Yeah,
There's
a lot of old hats on that team. And if you are just tuning in from wherever you're tuning in from, we do welcome you in. What you're going to be watching today is a 5 versus 5 military simulator. Essentially 2 teams going at it, trying to capture an objective, and the first to 4 points in a round wins. So as you can see here in the scoreboard, we have 3 TBD maps to be picked. What we do know is that each team has banned a map. So there's a wide map pool in Onward to choose from. And so in the competitive side of things, we allow for each team to ban a map. Snooper, what are the bans we're going to see today?
The bans are Quest Tickles is banning Downfall, and OJC is going to ban Bazaar. Now, Downfall, I kind of get, especially on 1.8. Longer ranges in this patch are a little sketchier. So it's a little bit of a challenge to try and get those shots through windows, especially when those windows are dark enough that you can't see the player inside them. So
Sure.
I get why that's sort of a default ban in 1.8. It's got to happen. If you're not good at the long range, you're not going to be good in 1.8 long range.
Well, and we've seen the long range players really excel at 1.8 because the scopes are in a great spot right now, and you're seeing a lot of sniping going on Downfall. So yeah, definitely one to take off the table if you want to get rid of that. Bazaar also a bit has those long range angles, so not terribly surprised to see that one off the table. I don't think we have exactly what our first map is going to be. I could be wrong.
We don't have any information on that, unfortunately.
Yeah, we do not. But hopefully when we come around to the start of the round, we'll be able to, we'll obviously be in that map. Quest Tickles OJC Division 3. This is going to be a spectacular battle in this best of 3. It's not a best of 5, something to also obviously note if you're curious on the format. And there is a little prizing on the line. I'm not actually sure what the spread is between division and a division, but I know Onward has definitely contributed some prizing to this hiatus tournament, so there's something to compete for here. And so I'm very excited to see how this match is going to unfold. I think we're going to cut to a brief intermission, and then we're going to get right back into the action. Snooper, before we get into this first match, before we cut away to get ready for it, any final thoughts on these teams?
Honestly, I don't think Quest Tickles is exactly ready for OJC.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They haven't exactly worked in the same meta. Quest Tickles is very used to the NA meta, a little bit of the EU meta, but then OJC is coming from Japan within their own little Japanese league.
Yeah.
And they have strats and tactics that just I think the Quest Tickles haven't encountered yet.
And again, 1.8 patch, a new, I guess not new anymore, but the newer patch to Onward has included a lot of changes, and I'm really interested to see how OJC leans into those. Are they going to use flashlights? Are we going to see flashbangs? What kind of smoke plays are going to come out? So many questions in terms of how the gameplay is going to shake down. It honestly is an exciting time to be a spectator of the sport, that's for sure. This is going to be an exciting back and forth, and I do anticipate it to be in back and forth. I'd be surprised if we didn't go to a third map.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams can definitely throw it back in each other's faces, even in the face of like a cap on the first map. Something that would demoralize newer teams. They're just going to spring back and cap.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely. Yeah. They're gonna come back even more aggressive, trying to counter it. Yeah. Absolutely right. So we're gonna take a brief pause here, brief intermission while we get things ready for our first round of the day. Don't go anywhere. It's only going to be a few moments, and we are going to be right in the map 1 of the Division 3 Hiatus Tournament Finals. As I find the button to do it. We are back, and we are diving into the action right away. This is map number 1 on Subway with Quest Tickles versus OJC. OJC on the offense, QT on defense. My name's Nightfire with 2 E's, joined by Snooperfax, and we're into it. This is the first objective of the day.
Yep, round 1, and I was looking at OJC's loadouts, and I'm seeing a lot of rifles. My concern on that is on defense, you generally want to have a lot of ammo to put down suppression fire, especially in these narrow hallways. But if you're good with rifles and you can get the shots down and get the kills, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, LMG definitely a nice tool to utilize. You see CK over here is kind of checking the north stairs, but nothing's going to be over here because the entirety of this Quest Tickles team is pushing in from the south stairway.
Hey, you wanna?
Yeah, it looks like a 5-man push through the south. Beefy and Gabagool at the tip of the spear, as it were.
Well, that's a good one.
Smoke goes out, and I think they just revealed their position to Axel Race.
I'm watching it.
Yeah, and that sound of the smoke may be picked up by Shinzu as well, who's tucked in over in that far right lane. So definitely something that they're gonna have to watch out for. Flashbang coming in from Axel. I think that catches out Driver. Driver has to tuck in, but Gabba seems to be fine behind the shield. He's gonna push out. Nade coming in. C4 actually ends up getting up top. Gabba called it out. Axel swings and finds the confirm. A nice double from him. He's looking for 3. That's a triple. Parzival. Actually,
Ooh,
Beefy getting the refrag.
That was a rough start for the Quest Tickles, but they can get a res out.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, Gabagool still alive. And he's calling out the push from Nep. The nade coming in onto the corner. Parzival's going to challenge it with the rifle, but the grenade's going to get him down.
Yeah, Nep did the right thing there. He threw the nade, went back into cover, and Parzival got a bit greedy and tried to get the kill. But Punkcake gets the refrag, but also puts down Gabagool.
I mean, look at this corner. It is an absolute...
It's just bodies on bodies.
Yeah, it is a killing field here. And
that's the alleyways. I mean, you're fighting in close quarters. But that was a gorgeous C4 there. Just right over the field.
And the follow-up nade, too. An excellent job to get that kill. Swings almost had the full squad wipe, you know, almost had that final kill on a Punkcake. Good on Punkcake to be there, recognize that threat, and get that kill. And now a 1v3 isn't insurmountable. You know, the coverage here from OJC leaves this entry point completely open for Punkcake to work through. The real tough spot here is going to be Nashi, who's, you know, with these colorings, super hard for Punkcake to ID in this corner.
Yeah, and as soon as Punkcake opens fire on one of them, the rest of them are going to know he's there, and we always know that's always a fun fight. Let's see if Punkcake can actually start picking people off from corners, though, because if he can find CK Japan, then he has a much better chance of finding Nashi Gem. But I think he's trying to get all the way around the corner and just scan that whole zone.
It's just a merry-go-round here as Nashi rotates into the corner. Punkcake checking all of these angles, just misses that rotation from Nashi. Very fortunate that they're going to be able to tuck into that corner. And Punkcake, I don't know, though. Shinzu isn't here. There's a path to cap, isn't there? Oh, as I say that, Nashi's going to shut it down.
It was funny how that rotation went, because as soon as Parzival tried to go to the other side of the alleyway entrance, Nashi started rotating too. It was like Nashi could see him, but I don't think that was the case. It was just coincidence. Very interesting.
We got to get that map 1 down because we didn't know about it before we got in to the series, but it is Subway, and it is going to be OJC with an early 1-0 lead. A good way for them to kick this off. And like we said in the pre-show, this Quest Tickles team might not be ready for OJC. OJC might be bringing a little bit extra than they were anticipating, and I think that whole corner push aggression there with the follow-ups that we saw, maybe not necessarily expected from the Quest Tickles team, because that takes coordination to be able to follow up on those downs, to be ready to cover as soon as someone drops. They did a nice job of holding on that corner for as long as they could.
Yeah, I mean, Nep just showed extreme amounts of control when he threw that grenade. He just calmly threw it, knew Parzival was there, and Parzival just tried to get him, and Nep just chilled in his corner. I mean, that's gorgeous.
And I mean, you talked about taking that LMG versus rifles, maybe they were going to lean heavily into those nades as their option instead, you know, instead of putting that for suppressive fire, they rely a little bit on the explosive at the last second. Pone Cake gonna get aggressive on the corner, and 2 go down just like that for OJC. What a start for this cute Quest Tickles defense.
Yeah, I mean, that was... Oh, 3 dead from... I mean, Driver's going to get Nashi, so that's their whole south push gone. OJC is extinct in the south, guys.
Hopefully I got that nade on replay, because that was an excellent toss from Pone Cake, and we did. So he scoops up the double and then tosses that nade. What a great little play there to completely shut down any momentum from OJC. The perfect answer back you could ask for, because now Axel and Shinzu are stuck strategizing. What do they do in a 2v5?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough situation, because they already know that the south push is neutralized. They're probably going to go north, Shinzo and Axel. What do they do? If you look around the north alleyway, Parzival's got that pretty covered. He's thrown down a C4. So honestly, north is kind of a rough deal to go up.
And that C4, I mean, that C4 is a nice spot too. It's super dark here in this alleyway. Unless you have night vision, you're really not going to see this, especially on the other side of the power box. So very good placement.
Even if I did see that, it would take me a second glance to realize that that's C4 and not just a power box with a green light on it.
Right.
So that is a gorgeous spot.
Ooh. Interesting. Seems like a time smoke coming in from Parzival at 3:30. Wants to drop off of that early forward position because there isn't that aggression on this stairwell, so he can afford to sort of tuck back onto objective and tighten up the defense as things do close down closer to round end. If you're not familiar, again, with Onward, it's that 5v5 military simulator with a 5-minute round timer. So each team gets a chance on offense on each objective. The objective rotates randomly throughout the map. And it's just a battle of what team can win what rounds. You know, right now, OJC has managed to get a great defensive round under their belt. Quest Tickles are looking to answer back with one of their own, because right now, this is essentially going to be a couple of 1v2s, 1v3s, because Axel and Shinzu have both decided to split.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is honestly their best plan, because if they stuck together, they're just going to get picked apart as soon as one of them opens fire. I know Quest Tickles, I know as soon as they start hearing gunfire, they're going to swarm it. Maybe leave 1 or 2 on objective, but they're going to swarm that dude. They know they have the bodies and the manpower to actually just run over them. It's a rough deal for OJC right now.
And you want to talk about the exit that Shinzu has in front of him here. Driver of car is lasered in. Pone Cake can reinforce if Driver gets picked up. They have Gabba here tucked in on that corner. Parzival can reinforce Gabagool's position, and so really the farthest back from any of the action is Beefy, and you kind of need that guy on objective. So they are doing a great job of covering all their angles, and they are not getting aggressive. I mean, Driver is just lasered onto that entryway. He's not going to move an inch. I don't think anyone here is thinking about shifting anywhere.
There's honestly no reason to. They have no holes in their defense. I mean, Quest Tickles, they could sit for the last minute and 34 seconds, and They got it. See, they're even telling Gabba to just stay where you are. There's no reason to move.
Yeah. They have the angles. It is tough in these times, you know, when the pressure's on, to hold your angles, keep things disciplined, and not, you know, worry about what if someone's peeking out there and it's not being covered. Is really it's when the teamwork shines, because you just get to see these players relying on one another to make sure that their backs are covered.
Yeah, I mean, for any new players wondering why we're not talking about kill counts or deaths or anything like that, this is honestly not the game where that matters. I mean, it does matter in that you need to kill people to win the game, but it's not the main focus. You need to work as a team. You need to get those caps. Shinzo's going to try and exit.
Yeah, C4 nearly catching him out. He tosses it as he hears Parzival pushing up onto the corner. That's a good flash. Chaos ringing out with Pone Cake as we have a trade here onto the corner. Pone Cake's charging. Actually, Shinzu was flashed and Pone Cake was flashed. Driver of car finally gets down the stairs and gets the kill. An absolute chaos. Axel finds the kill on a Pone Cake. Now it's a 1v3, and Axel's charging in to objective. BPC or Driver is able to respond. He finds the kill on the corner. We're into a 1v1. Or 1-to-1.
That was an interesting fight there in the, I guess, underpass, overpass area. They were both flashed. They were both running at each other, both blind firing. Fortunately, I guess OJC got the kill, but then it was a quick refrag because he was blind.
That was something.
Yeah, I have not actually seen that in Onward yet. Two blind people fighting each other.
You know, I tuned in over there and I saw a really aggressive push coming in and no deaths yet. So I'm like, okay, we just have to see what all this gunfire is about. And I pop over there and they're just sprinting at each other and just dropping back, letting loose on the LMG. Yeah, that was. Yeah, hey, there's that flashbang. I knew we were gonna see some of it, especially in the 1.8 and in these finals. Yeah. And also, what a great start, right, Stupor? It's tied up. This is looking to be a nice, like I said, potential 3-map back and forth.
Oh yeah, I mean, as I said before in the intro, both these teams are very skilled. They know how to play, they know how to correct losses, and they know how to come back.
Yep. Absolutely. Round number 3 underway. Take a quick look at the KDs. 3-2 for Axel, 3-1 for Driver of Car. Definitely excelling there in that last round to get himself a couple of kills. And where are we headed for objective numero dos?
Yeah, our new objective is in the mid section of the subway, second level, some people call it. It's an actually interesting objective because there's some really good spots to hang out and defend it, and that'll watch like 90% of the areas, but those same spots, there's places you can just run through and get the cap with that person being almost virtually useless.
Speaking of running through, Nashi's up here with a flash on the underground, and this is the right idea. Look at how heavy focused this QT push is down here. He's got that flash in hand. He's just waiting until they're guaranteed in the alley. He's going to get himself a double here if he gets this good flash off.
Oh, they flashed.
Gabba's got the shield, though. Ooh, a nice rotation around the crates. Gets himself 2. Excellent work there from Nashi to circumvent the shield. Recognizes he can't get that kill, but no, there was 2 there. Really great play.
Yeah, I mean, Nashi, he kept his cool there. He realized he missed his first shot, corrected, got the first kill, got the second kill. I mean, players might panic realizing, oh, wow, I have such a great opportunity to kill 2 people that they just screw it up. But Nashi, nah, he's got this. He's calm, he's cool, he's collected, he knows what to do.
Wow. And that's that flashbang play I've been looking to see in 1.8, and we've seen it occasionally in the Hiatus tournament from some of the top teams. But to see it here, Division 3, this OJC team is looking good. The question is can they hold on to the defense as Driver of Car works his way into the subway?
Yeah, I mean, flashes, for anyone who is uninformed about why they're more powerful in 1.8, they actually last longer than they did in 1.7 and before, where before it was more of like a 3 to 5 second flash of you can't see anything kind of ebbing out to normal vision. Now it's like 5 seconds, you're blind no matter what, then it starts ebbing your vision out. So flashes are very powerful right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I do recommend them. Ooh, and a bit of a trade as Beefy swings from the south stairwell, takes shots on the Nep and ends up with that trade there. And that is not an optimal trade. Parzival can't swing up there to get the res. If he does do that, he has to drop all the way back to get it, and it leaves a lot of time for Driver of Car to just kind of linger around. I'm looking at Pars, though. He is dropping back. Do you think he's going to go all the way around and get that res?
He's definitely re-rotating. Whether he's going for the res, that's a hard thing to say. Well, okay, now it looks like he's going for the res. He is heading south. He's probably heading for Beefy, which is the right plan. I mean, you want to get as many reses as you can, but that is just so covered by Nashi and CK. Nachi has a shield now too. So I don't think, I mean, Parzival obviously doesn't know the situation that we're seeing.
Right.
But I would at least expect it after what happened.
I mean, I'm on board Driver of Car here. I see Parzival's getting the res, but Driver's about to test his luck at coming out of the stairwell, which is not an easy exit because of all the angles. Essentially a 360 spectrum here of potential lines of sight that you could get shot from as you peek up out of the stairwell. Axella? Is that what we should be going with?
Yeah, I'm trying to...
saying Axel instead, but Axella over there could have the eye onto Driver, and Driver's going to get aggressive, maybe a bit too aggressive. No, actually catches out Axella looking for those shots. Shinsu here, next up on Driver of Car's list. Down he goes. That's a quick double. And just like that, OJC into a 3v3.
Yep, and it's all tied up. Oh, whoa, no, it's not tied up. It's 3v2. Quest Tickles are now... Yeah, I know. I missed that last kill. But Driver of Car is coming up to objective. This is exactly the lane I was talking about, where you can just sort of waddle up here, and well, that person is now dead, so he's useless two ways.
The problem is, though, is the shield. Nashi with the shield, but Driver is going to deter that away, finds the shots on the kneecaps. CK has to continue to peek and check. Driver of Cars pad out on objective. Down he goes. A bit of an overzealous cap attempt costs him, hopefully not the round, as the two teammates decide to pinch in. Shots coming in from the back on the north there from Beefy do get the kill. Quest Tickles taking a Marsoc round, going up 2-1.
Yeah, that was a solid pincer from Quest Tickles there. Parzival sneaking in. I'm not necessarily sure that OJC knew where Parzival was, but Beefy was just coming in with the flank, and at that point it was over.
Yeah. Yeah, but a solid defense there from OJC. You know, they did try to hang on there. They had some good kills out the gate. That flashbang with the shield retrieval, you couldn't ask for a better start to your defensive round.
That is a glorious start. One that most people should be very proud of.
Yeah. But ultimately, hats off to Quest Tickles again for able to bounce back from that, because that is not an easy comeback. 5v3 with the shield bearer is certainly a tall order, and they managed to do it. Now they go on the defense, and now we see if OJC is going to bring anything spicy to the table themselves.
Yeah. I can definitely see OJC doing some interesting things after that last round.
What I think was something we didn't highlight at all really is that cap attempt. You know, that this Quest Tickles team is getting a little. That's a very risky play there to be capping out in the open like that with one potentially still alive defending. They're really going for these over the top risky plays, and here we're seeing another one. Beefy's going to charge in underground, but Shinsu's playing it a bit conserved.
At this point, though, I would be a little bit conservative about our pushes. Quest Tickles have definitely been a bit of an X factor on their strategies. Nothing's been what I would call predictable, but Shinzo finds Beefy. Where was that? I missed it completely.
Underground, Shinsu was tucked in right out the gate, was just waiting for the push from Beefy, and Beefy got a little over aggressive in my opinion, pushing into this underground area here looking for some kills, and ultimately it does cost him as Shinsu found those shots. And now we have to go back up top where the rest of the push is coming in. I believe CK taking the catwalk entry.
Yeah, this is the fun of Suburbia and casting. There's so many levels. You might miss something.
Ooh. Speaking of, Nashi may miss Parzival as he approaches down these stairs. Parzival's tucked himself in. Ponecake also has a line of sight down here because you got to cover the catwalk exits. CK putting some rounds downrange onto the enemy. Not quite finding any success there. Ponecake gets Nashi trying to peek his stairwell. CK cannot get Gabagool down on this pillar. He's going to call in for Nap Nap to swing in, and Nap Nap is going to have this shot here soon on the side. Actually, no, Gabba is still tucked back, so Nap Nap's really going to have to push out to get this kill onto Gabba.
I think Nap Nap's going to be able to get it, though. Whether he's going to get... Yep, there it is. CK got him from the overpass. Wow, Nap didn't get that kill. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Whether Nap is actually going to get in for the flank without being seen by Parzival or Driver of Car or Ponecake is another story, but Ponecake's a little busy.
Yeah, this is looking nice. They're setting up quite a entry here. You have, I was going to say you have the south. That's going to be C4 down by Parzival. But you do still have Shinzu coming in from the underground and then the north entry, as well as CK, who's managed to make himself almost into the center here. That's going to get denied any sort of success as Parzival peeks out, and Quest Tickles are shutting down the OJC aggression here as Nep decides to swing 2:20 on the clock.
I mean, this is definitely Quest Tickles' match to lose right now. They're set up perfectly, but Shinzo is pushing through Ponecake with a headshot. They're within striking range of the objective.
Ooh, Nep winning a huge trade's gonna force Parzival onto an aggressive rotation. And Nep tried to throw a flash up, but botches it. So actually a huge boon here to Parzival as he can swing around, has the time to try and get himself set up to defend.
But he didn't see Shinzo, and Shinzo was just waiting for him.
Really nice job there from Shinzo to hang on and find that final kill. OJC with a perfect answer back to what was a good Marsoc round from Quest Tickles, and the back and forth continues. We are tied up 2-2 here right now for map 1.
I will admit, halfway through that round, I thought Quest Tickles was just going to hold their defense hard, and it was done. But as you saw, OJC just cleared it, finished it, and took out that last guy.
Man, it was... Yeah, they
you
just
can't predict it.
yeah, they just got the right picks. You know, that swing from Nep was so huge to find the pick on the driver of car there. Driver missing his shots initially, giving away his position. It's just so many little things that if you're not laser focused on all these things that are happening, you just see, oh, that guy got a nice trade, that guy got a nice kill. But there is so many nuances and interactions that are going on in the mindset and the rotations and what these players are thinking. Certainly,
even I was a little overwhelmed trying to find all the action. I was trying to find kills, and then it happened somewhere else, and it's all the way across the other side of the subway. I mean, that's Onward action, though. Like, it's a full battle everywhere. You need to have communication. You need to be watching your back. You need to be watching all the entrances. If you're getting shot at, don't be poking out the same corners twice, unless you have to.
You know, shoot, move, communicate. A common saying for one of our... one of the teams in the VRML.
We are on to a new objective, though. The basement objective, third story on the bottom, is actually the most defensible objective on this map. The fact that OGC got it first is pretty good. That definitely helps their chances in winning the map because they can sit on defense and just basically hold it. I mean, there's only 3 entrances to this objective, 1 through the tunnels and 2 stairways down. That's easy to defend with 5 guys. You can put 2 on 2 entrances and 1 on another, and you got it.
Look at this, a bit of an aggressive defensive plan from OJC, and I think I've seen this from CK before, or at least someone else. Someone did this recently where they pushed down this lane. And actually an interesting bit of quick peeking from CK on the corner as Pwnecake puts rounds down range after seeing him there, but ultimately not finding the hits. And
well, they're definitely skirmishing in the tunnels, but I think the real... I mean, Shinzo's in such a weird place, whether he's going to see that south push or not. Oh, no.
Oh, CK tries to challenge Pwnecake on the corner. Not going to work out for him as Pwnecake finds the kill. And yeah, we got to drive our attention up to Gabagool, driver of car. They've made themselves into the L here.
There we go. Callouts. Taking down 2. Now, is Shinzo aware of Gabagool's crew?
Nothing.
The thing with this objective that you got to remember is that they can't use any utility quite yet because their real entry is going to be down in the basement. Right now, they have to sort of rifle clear and teamwork and communicate their way through this entire upstairs. And that's a difficult task to pull through with, especially when Sinju and the like have tucked themselves into some dark corners, and that's going to be some missed shots. So now Pwnekake's lasered in to this potential lane, and
at least Shinzo saw him. My biggest fear was Shinzo never peeked or never saw them and missed the rotation, and then he's just out and away from objective. But I think we're going to get some good Shinzo action right now. Smoke.
I mean, we're watching Shinzo, but the push is coming in down onto objective. Nep's tucked in. Smokes are out. Gabagool and driver of car have made their way underground. Pwnecake is going to challenge Sinju as he dives through the smoke. Sinju's tucked himself in. Pwnecake finds the kill back down into objective where Nep and Axela are holding as the final 2.
Yeah, and as you said, they can't use any utility until they get down here. Their best strategy is to overwhelm the defense with smokes, grenades, flashes, and then, of course, rifle fire. And I think they're going to do it, considering Nep and Alexa Reese.
Well, do you go cap here? You got to be thinking cap here, right?
They've got 4 people down there. I mean, they're going to go for a cap. They've got a shield, right? Ooh, Nep picks driver.
Gets
And
2.
Purple.
Gets Gamma! Pwnecake in the trade, and nearly a 5-piece coming in there from Nep to pull through, but Quest Tickles take the single point. You can see they were going for the cap there, right? They were definitely focusing cap with their efforts.
Oh yeah, they knew there was at least one person down there. They were trying to use the numbers on their team to sort of corral him into his corner so that their other player that was trying to cap could put the code in. And I think they realized that wasn't going to work halfway through, and then Nep got his 3 kills.
Yeah, again, little things to pay attention to. The kill there from Nep on the shield, he waited. He looked right at him. He didn't take those shots. And then as soon as the hand peeks out to take for that shot on a Nep, lasered in onto that hand and got the kill. Like, it was a very nice, aware play against that shield for Nep to get that third.
Oh yeah, it was definitely solid action from Nep. He was waiting for just a little bit to expose, and he put it down as soon as he saw it. And that's really what you got to do. You can't be bursting at him, especially if you have a rifle. You only have 30 rounds, so if you're burning off half your mag just to scare him, you're gonna run out of ammo before you actually kill the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And our predictions so far, this has been a amazing back and forth. A huge Marsoc round gives Questicles the advantage. Now you're just saying all OJC has to hold is this downstairs objective, but now all Questicles have to do is hold this basement objective. Play tight, let them come to them. Don't get over aggressive. And I mean, this is the most chatty I've heard this Questicles team. They are definitely locked in here, putting in a good effort to try and beat OJC.
Oh yeah, and I mean this objective is honestly one you don't want to lose on defense because it's really hard to win on offense.
Oh, it's so hard.
Just getting down those stairs alive.
Oh, look at this. Beefy getting aggressive on the south stairs. Gets himself a huge early pick.
Yeah, that's pretty big. I mean, south is now neutralized. CK Japan is about to run into Gabagool and Parzival. I don't know what Alex is doing. He's taking it very slow. And Nep and Shinzu are just following CK. I guess they're anticipating a C4. I got to get down there. If you notice, OJC is spread out right now. I think they've clued into the fact that Questicles really likes their C4. And the way to mitigate that is to actually separate yourself to the point where if someone goes down, it's only taken one. But that also... Well, it opens your team because you're now trickling in 1-1-1-1.
Sure.
Not great either.
Yeah, a lot of these exits require multiple smokes, suppressive fire, a shield potentially to get yourself out. I'm just kind of panning the battlefield, trying to keep track of where everyone is. Excella has managed to make their way into out of that catwalk and now can challenge the stairs here to reinforce. And it actually would be a pretty nice challenge. Beefy would be an easy pick if he has the angle from the stairs, but the real concern, again, is going to be this exit for this underground team because there is a two-man defense here. There is Gabagool and Parzival stacked up waiting for this OJC squad to exit out.
Have you seen any C4 yet? I have been looking and looking, and I have not seen a single C4. And it might just be hidden because Questicles are very creative with it.
I'm not going to look too hard, but maybe take a look at Gabagool himself because he's tucked into a very dark corner, nearly undetectable. And if he goes down, he could certainly be C4 detonator there right on top of him. Another kill coming in from Ponekick on the other side. We saw Gaba pick up his, and just like that, OJC down to 2 in the basement. This could be map 1 going into the hands of Questicles.
Yeah, I mean, this is a rough offensive push to go through. I mean, you got to go through Gabagool, and I actually did find that C4. It's actually above the exit stairwell, or exit door frame of the tunnels. So even if CK Japan gets Gabagool, chances are someone's going to blow him up with a C4.
And again, how do you know? You know, unless you're nading this lane, CK's not going to just pre-fire the corner when he rounds it.
No. I mean, there might be a cook grenade that goes through, but I can't see much more than that.
Oh, and Gaba, wow, really nice heads-up play there from Gaba to ID him on the corner, because I was about to say Gaba does not know that CK was there. CK managed to make his way completely stealth, but the little kneecap peeking out around the corner was just enough for Gabagool to take shots on, and OJC left with 1.
Yeah, I mean, can Shinzo push through, 2 people in a C4? That's a tall order for anyone. Possible. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I definitely know Shinzo's a very good player, so maybe? This is honest. This is Questicles to lose right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's the 5v1. Gabagool's here. He's found 2 kills already. He's got the eye of sight right on to Shinzo. Shinzo tried to react in time, but Gaba gonna come out on top with the kill. Questicles secure themselves a map win. And again, I think that we're gonna see a 3-map series here, but we might not, Snooper. Questicles could end up taking this second map and taking the Division 3 finals.
Yeah, I mean, they're very proficient at cargo. It's a very fast map, so if, say, a team wants to take it slow, they can easily get overwhelmed by a team like Quest Tickles that are just going to 5-man stomp them.
If you're OJC right now, though, quarantine's on the table.
Okay, I think we're going to quarantine.
That is where we are going to head. I was just going to say, I mean, you're talking about picking into a map that Quest Tickles historically are very strong on. Quarantine is that wild card that we get because in 1.8 it's gotten so many updates. It's gotten changed so drastically that there's all kinds of new angles, all kinds of new strats, tons of different ways you can play this map. And I gotta assume OJC has been, like we said, there's different sort of metas, even amongst EU, NA, Japan community. They each sort of play in their own little ways. And what we've been seeing here from OJC is really, honestly, just good quality teamwork. You know, they're communicating well. They're not getting the picks they need, and I think they're maybe getting a little over-aggressive. Maybe this OJC squad has underestimated Quest Tickles.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible, but my counter to that is I think Quest Tickles saw what they needed to do to actually beat OJC's strategies. Mostly just double up on defensive positions, try and look for, I guess, the weirder spots, because like Shinzu and, you know, some of those weirder pushes on defense, just like Pwnecake hunted them down that round. Yeah. So Quest Tickles especially, they've adapted very well to OJC's playstyle.
Absolutely.
We are into the first round.
Yeah, without any delay, we are into the first round. I'm doing the old find the objective game. Have you found it yet?
It's over by ambulance.
Ah, there it is. And we're going to hop into the action for round 1 of map 2. If you are just tuning in, a shout out to you over in venues, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, all across the streaming universe. We appreciate you all tuning in and hope you've been enjoying your time, because I certainly have. I know Snooper's been having a good time. These have been some great games.
No, this has actually been a very good game. It's not a, you know, one side dominating the other. It's I don't know what's going to happen. It's two very experienced teams basically bashing each other to pieces, and it's awesome to watch.
And I mean, you don't know what's going to happen because these teams are bringing out some unique strats. Look at Parzival as an example. He's rotated heavily here to the southeast corner of the map, and he's looking to catch out an early spawn point that isn't there. So it's going to be interesting to see how this position from Parzival pays off, because ultimately it could go ignored. You do expect with that objective, they're a team to push in here in the southeast, usually utilize the building that Shinzu's actually in. But it's just not in the cards for this OJC team. They're actually favoring a heavy north rotation. Nashi actually potentially in danger here, but has a bit of cover he can duck behind, has the building blocking his vision from Parzival. And again, the rest of the team focused here up in the north. They're going to rotate in from the west.
I mean, it's definitely unorthodox compared to the, I guess, old quarantine plays. Yeah. That's the thing about this new version of quarantine is there's, as you said, so much has changed, so much is different. You can't predict the new strats. Where's Gabagool?
He's over on the west. He just found a nice little shot through that long alleyway. I don't know. Usually what we've seen here on this west approach is heavy smokes. If you're going to make that sort of push, you're either going to get the kill right away or you're going to heavily smoke your way out so that this doesn't happen, which is now Axella tucked in and trapped, looking for the kill onto the hill, and actually a nice, really nice approach. Stayed hidden in the dark, didn't get aggressive and push out, waited for the angle, found it, and now the west is open.
Yeah, that was a solid strat from OJC there. Just calmly blend into the background and then get your headshot.
Yeah, very nicely done. In the meanwhile, Pwncake's found a kill. Parzival on a huge rotation, a risky one at that. You know, we talk, he is really far away from objective. If somehow the defense started to get picked apart and the OBJ was opened up, he cannot defend properly.
No, he'd have to run back. I mean, he'd be running and shooting at best, but mostly just running, because that objective would probably get capped on before he got there. Beefy's moved into a really interesting position over by the crash plane. I think he knows someone's around here and he's waiting for them to come, you know, Axella to come through, but Axella's taking it slow. Whether Beefy's actually going to be patient enough for Axella to come through there, I don't know. I think Axella's just waiting for someone to be stupid enough to come up that north alley.
It's a risk, you know, it requires the right utility. Shinzu here on the rotation. We watched him do this right under the eye of Parzival, and I was thinking in my head, they are literally swapping positions. Shinzu has gotten over to the southeast, and he's gotten himself a kill, and now Parzival's thinking, what the heck did I miss? He drops back here and looks for something onto Shinzu. Nashi gets beefy over there. You had the right idea to keep your eyes peeled there, but Parzival now pushing over to Shinzu.
Yeah, I mean, he knows where Shinzu is. I'm surprised you didn't see him anywhere on that approach, but I think Shinzo now knows Parzival's there.
What the?
He heard the footsteps, and I think he panicked and just...
Oh, you're right. He thought he was on the stairs, but he was not. And now Parzival's very aware of Shinzu here inside this building. Not in that corner, though. Shinzu finds the kill.
I thought that was Parzival getting the kill there. Like, he was up, he was ready, he basically had it in his face. All he had to do was pull the trigger, but no, Shinzu gets the first shot in the head.
He might have been too much in the face. You know, it could have been the fact that his gun was clipping into the body and he couldn't pull the trigger.
That might have been it too. For anyone new or unfamiliar with Onward, if you're that close to a person where your barrel is clipping into another player, it won't fire. And I understand that's a little bit unrealistic because, you know, point blank with an AR-15, you pull the trigger, that guy's gun, no matter what he's wearing.
But you also can't stick a gun inside someone's body, so...
Exactly.
There's the give and take there, and the real question is, can driver of car defend from a cap? Because this is not an easy objective to properly defend from. A flash comes up and over, doesn't catch a driver out as he drops inside just at the right time to avoid those flashes. Yeah, he realizes that he has to cover the angle, so he's charging in, quickly pushing around the corner, and actually distracted by the LMG finder while Nashi punches in the code.
Oh, he got the code in.
Absolutely.
I thought...
Oh no, he got that code in a good bit before he went down too. So
okay,
yeah, it was a clean cap there from OJC, but a cap nonetheless. That's a 2-0 lead out the gate.
That was a glorious distraction from Shinzo. He was just putting fire down on anywhere he thought a person could be, and of course, it distracted driver of car just the needed amount of time to get that cap in. And that's what you really need to do as a team: is you have a player on the objective. Your goal is to now distract everyone from that guy.
That is that teamwork I love to see, and at this level, nonetheless, you know, these teams, they're great teams. They maybe not even deserving of being in Division 3 because they are looking very coordinated, but to just have that sort of communication, hey, I need you to be suppressive firing this defensive position while I move in. You're going to draw his attention. I'm going to have that opportunity to cap in the corner, and it's overall just a really great move. The flashbangs on the roof, all nicely planned and coordinated as a 3-man squad to push in for that cap. Well deserved from OJC. Now we get to see what Quest Tickles are going to bring to the table as we hop into round 2.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Quest Tickles do the same thing, so at this point, I could see them doing it on this objective.
No, I totally agree with you. It is not a... There's not a bow on this one just yet for OJC. They haven't locked this one up by any means. And Questicles are getting a fast spawn right over here in the west. They can instantly apply pressure onto the objective.
Yes, this is called quick spawn, and it means everyone's going to meet really quickly. It looks like a 5-man push coming through the west. See if Nashi can hold him back. He sees him.
Yeah.
Calls out. Okay.
Trouble is, it's hard to ID Parzival inside the gas station as he takes one of the newer angles there, shooting through the window down onto Nashi, and that's going to open up their entry. They need this space clear to come in through the garage, and the question is can Axella stay tucked in and defend?
That's a good question. I mean, Axella has a bit of a job on her. She has to defend from Ponecake, Parzival, and then, of course, Beefy, Driver, and Gabagool, so she's essentially surrounded in a like, I'm surprised Beefy hasn't found her yet. But if they don't know she's there, that could actually be very lethal, which I think she now just ruined that.
Yeah, that nade toss, I think, gave information to Parzival, and Axella is definitely not going to be ready, although she should be for the rotation from Parzival. They've lost one there already, and now, Parzival actually taking shots. That's going to be information for Axella to work with, but those shots did lead to a kill, so 1 down now, and it's a 5v3. Quest Tickles are looking to answer back with a Marsoc round.
Ooh, and Parzival checks his tablet, I think, for the code, but Shinzo and CK Japan just finish him off.
Really long angles, and again, you know, we talk about some of these maps like Bazaar having long angles. This is definitely one of them. Gabagool, can he get past CK's eye? He's here on objective. CK dumps fire downrange. Driver of car picks up the refrag through the slit in the wall, And there's still one left. We're still into a 1v1.
Excella's not rotating.
Excella stayed alive.
Yeah, but she's not rotating. She.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be a cap. Like there's nothing. Like unless driver just poops out right now. Yeah, it's a cap.
What an answer back here from this Quest Tickles team. A huge play here for them to be able to push up to OBJ and punch in the code. Excella still not realizing the plight that they are in necessarily. Could potentially get a line of sight from the roof if they peeked the corner. And I don't know what's taking Driver so long. I almost can't even keep talking. It's taken Driver so long to punch in the code for this objective to get capped in. Can Quest Tickles get it? Excella's going to look down.
Oh,
no, there it is.
Oh. Excella, you were so close.
So
Driver,
close.
What was that, a 15-second cap?
Like I said, I started to run out of breath at some point there because he was taking all the time in the world to get that one. But I said it, okay? You can't count this team out. You said they'll do exactly that, and
that's what they did.
This series, man, what a wild back and forth this has been.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly wasn't the level of strategy we saw OJC's cap, but I mean, Quest Tickles.
They had the right defensive setup. Excella's position was good. It's just, something that we have to highlight for the new players, obviously, too, is that in this game, there's no HUD, there's no UI. I'll show it here when we get into the game. There's no lasers, there's no, name notification above the head. It's very much your game presence that determines how you react. And one of the things that you can do, obviously, is reach behind your back, pull out a pad, and check, who's alive, who's dead. In a situation where Excella arguably just got a kill, so just found a pick, you kind of start to tunnel, and it comes down to, how good a player is. Are they aware to check the pad and make sure that they're the only one left alive? Because if they are, oftentimes you see them crash objective. I'm sure Excella didn't even think they were the last person alive there defending that objective, but either way, a good job to capitalize on that, gap in coverage and get the cap.
Yes. I mean, I guess Excella didn't check her tablet. He or her? I guess I'm a little confused on that.
I'm going with they. I'm going with they.
They, okay, they. But you need to really check your tablet, especially when you think you might be the last person alive. Even just do a 30-second, okay, I have some time, let me just see who's left alive. Yeah. You need to be doing that, and I think that's what Excella wasn't doing, and didn't realize that she was the last one alive, and let someone into the defense. And you really need to just get back to that objective or die. I
mean, Snooper, it could be so many elements too. At this point, we're in the finals. We're in this tournament finals. 4 weeks of your time put in here to get to where you're at, and they want to win. The eyes are on them, and so that pressure also is an element that you have to factor in, and how that ultimately, determines how you make decisions. It does contribute to tunnel vision.
Yes.
It contributes to tilting. All kinds of factors here that can ultimately shift who's going to win or lose.
Yeah, and it seems like both teams are in good spirits.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to see some good plays, some good maneuvering, good shots. I mean, when teams get demoralized, that's when you start seeing one team start running over another.
Absolutely. And, well, Quest Tickles could be looking to sort of demoralize OJC, because out the gate they managed to find 1 kill already. And this is a new move that we've seen with this 4-story here, is the aggressive push on the west. Mr. Beefy's here taking up a position now, looking for an early pick.
Yeah, it's a great spot to rush up to, as long as you don't get gunned down. But once you get there, you're in a very powerful position that essentially cuts off the west. And that's what Beefy's about to do to Shinzo, if Shinzo doesn't realize he's there.
And we're going to have to keep our attention split across the map, because in the east, Nep is also making a move here. He's taking shots down onto Driver of Car and Gabagool, who are uncharacteristically pushed out here. They're very heavily shifted over in the northeast corner.
It looks like a lot of, I guess, shadow play, where they kind of know where the person is, but they don't have any visuals. So, nades are going out. There's some, I don't think I've seen a smoke, but I think I saw a flash. So very interesting start. It looks like OJC's push has kind of run into a bit of a barrier. I don't see anyone past the center. That's a bit concerning.
It could be their timing. They still have 3:30 left, and I think they're going to want to obviously pinch down on objective. They are a team that has been communicating well. Shinzu going to end up trading with Beefy, and so we're going to keep things even. Well, not even, actually. Quest Tickles, even, as the kill comes in there from Nep. Quick res, not even. 4-3 for QT.
And that's a res is not a good thing for OJC right now. They really need to keep everybody on the ground. And Parzival is a very in a very ambushy spot. Whether he's going to find Alexa Reese, I don't know. It's where she's going to push up, whether she goes to that smaller alley or whether she pushes all the way through past that bigger alley.
We gotta keep eyes on East because NepNep's on a hard flank. Drivers picked up CK, and I think that's drawn too much of their attention because NepNep here might have an angle soon onto Gabagool. Both of them have no idea. NepNep is here. Down goes Gab. Diver swings, but not in time. NepNep with a huge double.
That was glorious. And you just 1-2'd them. Like, that's what you need to do as you come around a corner. Pwnecake is now very aware someone's coming from the east. And I think he's whether he's going to rotate back behind the fence to try and meet NepNep or stay at the truck, I don't know. I think the truck's a little bit of a gamble. You can definitely get flanked harder there.
I think he's putting faith in Parzival watching his back because I agree the flank is super heavy here, but he also has a nice line of sight onto some holes here. He can watch. Well, this is going to be the problem. I don't think he's watching the hole in the wall to his left. I don't know if he's ready for NepNep to be peeking out there because you're right, he is completely exposed to that flank.
Yeah, and if I was NepNep, I'd be telling Alexa to get your butt up to the objective right now. But Pwnecake's definitely going down. Headshot, one shot to the head from NepNep. And NepNep finds Parzival. Was that a clean sweep from NepNep?
I think it was 4. He didn't get the 5th, but it was definitely 4 from him.
Yeah.
And wow, what a play there to lock in a Marsoc round and now a lead 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, NepNep definitely MVP of that round. Just taking him down as soon as he sees him. No hesitation. No, I need to get my line. No, I need to go back into cover and then pop back out. He just went for it, got the shots, got the kills, and kept moving. And that's what you need to do. You need to get yourself in that mode of just, you see an enemy, you recognize the enemy immediately and take it down.
Yeah.
If you hesitate at all, teams like this are going to pick you apart.
And I mean, again, it's always important to remember that this is not an easy game. You know, this definitely takes a lot of practice and skill to get at this level and to have that sort of quick reaction time. You got to really know your stuff. You got to have good trigger discipline because you don't want to kill your own teammate if they swing out around a corner. You also have to have good awareness. You need to be checking where my teammates are so that in the case you see someone where you're not expecting them, you can afford to just instantly pull the trigger. There's a lot that goes into sort of figuring out and analyzing how you want to move in this game, and I think it's what lends it so heavily to an esports to make it so fun as an esport because there's so many little things that can ultimately get you a win.
Yeah, if you don't have good critical thinking skills, you're not going to be successful in this game. You need to be putting context clues together. You need to be looking at your tablet, talking to your teammates.
I'm sure
hearing gunfire.
I'm sure some Quest Tickles players would argue with with you on that. Some of them play pretty loose and free.
I think once you get to this level of play, though, you're kind of just going on autopilot. Yeah, you're having fun. Yeah, you're talking and not really taking it seriously. But at some point, autopilot kicks in.
Look at this. I get sorry to cut you off, but we're going to go right into a quick spawn for our next round from Quest Tickles.
So we have a gas station spawn, and this is quick spawn. They can get to the objective within 30 seconds.
I mean, a flash. You can go right into that 4-story, take control of roof, dive up plane wing. You can also die right away as Shinzu manages to find one. And Pwnecake may be testing his luck as he goes for an angle here just over up to the hilltop. Chaos on the west. Axel finds one and takes some shots on the shoulder. Gabagool nearly picks him off. Shinzu gonna challenge Pwnecake. Pwncake's gonna have none of that. Shuts that down. In the meanwhile, though, Nasty looking for the refrag down on the Pwnecake. Can't quite find it from the rooftop. Things are going to take a bit of a pause as we're into a 3v2.
Yeah, and that's going to slow down the Quest Tickles offense. Pwnecake and Gabagool are definitely going to have to take their time moving up because Nashi, Alexa, and who was our last person? CK Japan. They're in a very strong position.
Again, though, options, right? 1.8, that's kind of the name of the game. You have all kinds of new options. Gabagool is going to take one of those. He's going to go up onto this plane wing and potentially find an angle down onto that rooftop defense.
Yeah, CK would be wide open as soon as he gets up there, and I don't think CK is even watching it.
Oh, there he is. He's aware, and it's honestly a good spot to be because Excella now has also rotated into a bit of a newer position up on that ledge. Nashi here, gonna swing, finds shots from the rooftop. Gabba tucks in time, tries to get the refrag, can't quite land those, and everyone's looking for an angle here up onto the roof onto Gabba.
Ooh. And it looks like Gabba finds the angle on CK, but Pwnecake trades with. Oh wait, that was Pwnecake
Yeah.
getting the kill on CK.
Yeah, Pwnecake pushed up there. We saw it brief. It happened in a flash just underneath the gunfire of Gabagool. And 3:15 left. Gaba can sit here for 2 minutes just looking for picks.
Yeah, I mean, he's on top of the objective. Granted, that roof, once you're identified, isn't the safest place. There's not a lot of cover. You're pretty wide open, and to get down, you actually will take damage unless you hit that sort of secondish story that doesn't exist, and it's really hard to do that. And I don't think he has the option to go down the plane wing.
We did see him check his pad, so he's aware he's the only one alive. He knows the situation that he's in, and it's a bit of a comfort almost to know you're into the 1v1, and it just comes down to what you can do. Nashi's going to find the kill, though, and that comfort goes away as we go to a map 3, OJC, pushing it up.
Yeah, that was solid plays from OJC there. I think they corrected themselves from what happened on Subway. They kind of corrected their defense, especially in that last round, to, I guess, what Quest Tickles would be doing, especially those really fast pushes that they like to do.
Yeah.
So solid adaptation from OJC there.
Uh-oh, you talked about it earlier, and I said quarantine's the right choice for OJC. It was. It got them the win, but we are headed to Cargo for map 3, and this is definitely a Quest Tickles favorite, in my opinion. A map that caters to their playstyle a little bit. We say that, though, and haven't really seen... I don't know. OJC did look good on Subway. They had the coordination there. Maybe they're going to bring something here onto Cargo that Quest Tickles and us here at the desk aren't ready for.
Yeah, I mean, OJC definitely seems to be prepared for the...
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Quest Tickles sort of do the mean push where it's like a 5-man rush through tunnel or a 5-man push through center or down pipeline. And that'll overwhelm some teams because there are just so many guns aiming in so many directions. Of course, Quest Tickles knows all the angles to aim for, so they're coming out ready to go.
Right.
Whether OJC can be ready for something like that or whether Quest Tickles is even going to attempt it, I don't know. I mean...
We've seen wild plays from both sides, too. Just crazy rotations. Parzival going way crazy, far out there on the east. Aggressive pushes on the... all sorts of new spots here in this Division 3 finals. And honestly, it's got me hyped for tomorrow, man. We got a back-to-back set. Division 1, Division 2 finals. Beginners versus Aimless Gaming is going to be nuts. Division 2 finals, Rome versus Water is going to be fantastic. Like, we got good Onward this weekend, man.
Oh, yeah. Some of the best Onward you're probably going to see, at least for a while. I mean, the league starting up next week.
True.
Depending on, we're going to have some league games, but I mean, this is the final tournament, and usually you're going to see a little bit more from teams in the finals, especially when there's prizes on the line.
Yeah, the tournament mentality definitely kicks in for these squads, and I'm wondering if we're seeing any subs. Just taking a quick look at the overall rosters, because we didn't really highlight those.
Oh, no, we're starting.
Yeah, we're not seeing any substitutions, and we're not taking much time in between maps as we dive in to map number 3.
I mean, both teams definitely know how to play Cargo. It's just, can they adapt to each other's play style? Is someone going to do something a little bit risky? We don't know. Let's see what happens. I mean, I don't see any crazy... Oh, I do see a G3 and from Nep there, so a solid defense loadout from OJC.
Oh.
Nep.
Oh, what?
Nep down Parzival. Beefy found Nep, and then another trade came out.
A double trade. There are 3 down here on this lane. Nep picking off all 3, and driver and car, and Gabagool could care less.
Oh, the Quest Tickles, they're just hanging out.
Yeah, they are all down, and it's weird that driver of car and Gaba are not rotating here. Maybe again, they're just tunnel visioning, right? Not aware that they need to rotate to get that res.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're in the tunnel, so it's kind of sketchy to pull out your tablet. You have to watch both sides, so I get why they haven't checked or realized what's going on, but they haven't heard from their teammates either through the radio or through gunfire, so I would be suspicious right now that they're dead.
Are you saying that you get tunnel vision inside tunnels?
Yes. Nice
C4 detonation on the from CK there. Gets the shield. Driver's going to swing, finds one, but there's so many eyes on the exit to the tunnel that he's going to go down, and OJC are going to snag their defensive round. A pretty strong one.
Yeah. I mean, OJC definitely knows the angles. They know how to get the pre-fire down the pipeline. I mean, Quest Tickles knows it too. So as we saw that, like, what was it, triple trade?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was just insanity to me. But I mean, that's the pre-fire.
And honestly, a risk that they took, right? To sort of stack up the firing squad down that lane. They were hoping that, maybe they lose one, but they ultimately win out in that firing squad engagement. To lose all three, it was literally the worst case scenario for them.
Yeah, and do you want to invest 3 people on a pre-fire and down pipeline like that? I don't know, but they did, and it definitely didn't work out for them.
I don't know. Again, new strats, differing strats, teams trying to try something new here. And it's interesting because cargo has gone unchanged, right? There's nothing different between 1.7 cargo and 1.8 cargo other than the fact that utility acts differently. The map itself has had no adjustments, so there's nothing new here. There's no new lines of sight for both of these teams. They're very aware of the angles they need to hold.
Yeah, and I mean, OJC, they're a very well-practiced team.
Yeah.
Quest Tickles, of course, I think they like to relax. They like to have fun. So when it comes up against a serious team that's very good, which is OJC is, it's almost like equal battles.
I agree with you there, but I think Questicles have definitely come into this series with a little bit more focus. Like I said in that round 2, they were definitely very chatty. The most I've heard them talk about strategy at the start of a round. And I think they're definitely locking it in a little bit extra here for this series. So I'm not counting them out yet, and obviously we can't because they came back with that cap on quarantine. But
it's unpredictable.
You just can't count these guys out quite yet as OJC go on the offense.
And the pre-fire comes out down pipeline, and Beefy catches Nep. And there goes Beefy with the go down on the refrag as he tries to cross. So the pre-fire catches at least one of the Quest Tickles. And we're all tied up.
Lots of pre-fire getting sent down range from this OJC squad, and they've taken command here of the cargo crate area. The problem is Gabagool. Look at him. He's managed to sneak his way up through the tunnel, and he has an excellent spot here where we can catch out CK and any other rotators.
Yeah, I don't think CK even knows he's there. Whether he's gonna hear that footsteps, he did. Okay, he did. Good.
Wow, and that right there is just really, that's veteran play, right? That's the ability to know that someone could be in that angle, to check it like that. Flash is coming out and over. Driver of cars completely blind. Down he goes. Nashi almost finds Pwnecake on the backside, does. Ooh. And now he's here, potentially crashing down on OBJ. Parzival, the final defender. OJC want to pile on. They want to go up too.
Yeah, but still, they need to take it carefully. Parzival is in a very defensible position. Definitely need to sort of, be tactful about this. Don't just rush in with 3 people and hope you can overwhelm Parzival. Parzival will probably gun you down as you come into the alleyway. But whether Nashi's going to get the first shot or Parzival, we don't know. Oh, and it's a trade.
Both of them just having slivers of their body peek out around the corner. Ultimately, the trade favors OJC as there's still 3 left alive, and now they go up 2-0. Starting to get a bit of a dangerous lead here on cargo.
Yeah, this is a lot of momentum for OJC. That last round, they just sort of cut a swath through Quest Tickles. And there was really no resistance. Did you see anything that looked like they would slow down an OJC push? There was that little bit from Gabagool. But
we had some from Beefy, too. He found that early kill. If he doesn't go down there, maybe they're a bit stronger on that side with Gaba, and they can have a little bit more effect on defending there. But, what's interesting to see is all of them go for these early picks down these lanes. It's so risky. You're throwing the dice. You're rolling the dice. You really are. You're rolling the dice on if you're going to get the kill before the enemy kills you on a lot of these lanes. And ultimately, that dice roll has not favored Quest Tickles. OJC have been able to come out on top with those kills. And now Quest Tickles have to be thinking cap. This is the final map. There's nothing else after this. You don't have any more options. They have to get themselves back into this one and keep themselves in it. Otherwise, OJC are coming out with Division 3 winners.
Yeah, but this is also the objective to cap on. This is a rather interesting objective in that you can cap on the outside of the crate and on the inside of the crate. Yeah. So say OJC goes down to 1 guy defending that objective. He can't guard all of it. He can't effectively maneuver and then protect the inside of the crate and the outside of the crate. He needs to be basically running around that thing constantly, so that he either dies or prevents the cap. And smokes go out all the way down at the end of tunnel. It looks like Beefy's going to try and run up with Parzival falling behind. Just a quick push. Was that a C4 through the smoke from Beefy? I don't know what I saw fly through the smoke.
Well, that would be impossible, but
Oh yeah, of course. They're on Marsoc, my mistake. I'm just so used to Quest Tickles throwing around C4 like they're snowballs. I just assume they have one somewhere.
let's see if they start throwing nades and flashbangs like they're snowballs, because they certainly are going to have to get out of these entryways here. The doorways are going to be the challenge for Beefy and Gabo, Driver, Parzival, all of them choosing to come down these lanes, and Driver actually finds one. There's C4 detonated onto Beefy. CK gonna quickly peek here and find the kill, and actually a double down the tunnel, shutting down the tunnel approach. Nashi sees shield here, and again, the patience. Doesn't take shots, gonna opt for a flashbang. Can't get it inside though. May feel overconfident with it. Actually gets Gaba, Driver in a trade. A huge pickup there from Nashi with a double. Punkcake could swing, get the res, turn it into a 3v2, but he's looking for kills of his own. And maybe getting the res. CK on the backside, looking for a flank.
He needs backup, so he's going for the res. I mean, it's a 3v2 right now, even with the res up. So he's got the time to do the res. Might as well, and he does it, of course. CK is coming around for a flank. So, yeah, here goes Pancake, and Gabagool is now very aware.
Ooh, toss CK pass. CK not aware of Gaba still tucked in here.
No, I don't think they know where he is. I think they thought Pancake was alone. So now they're on the hunt. And CK didn't even see him.
What?
He got like 3 or 4 pistol shots on him, and then he did a snapshot into his face.
Wow. CK with a wild kill there. Even heard CK laugh at the end of that one. He knew how ludicrous that snapshot kill was to get himself the round win. But,
Yeah, I mean,
hey, the pistol doesn't do a lot of damage. There could have been body armor on there, you know, and it's a hard thing to get a kill with. If you hit the chest, it's not going to be an insta kill. And you know, hey, that's how things unfold sometimes. And OJC piling onto their lead 3-0.
yeah, I mean, do you know why Gabagool only had a pistol in his hand? He wasn't out of ammo, I know that. And he definitely had enough bodies around.
Just using the shield. He had the shield. I know he had the shield.
Oh, okay.
He was holding on to that shield there, and so for that snapshot to even that's why that snapshot was even crazier. I think he snapped and hit the hand to get that kill.
It was something crazy. But I mean, bravo for bravo for CK.
Yeah,
I mean, he just sort of wandered in there.
You want to pick a time to pull out some crazy shots. Now is going to be it when you're in those Division 3 finals, and Quest Tickles now on the back foot, backs against the wall, have to win this defensive round. OJC thirsty for the series win.
Yeah, definitely thirsty. I mean, OJC just, I mean, they're playing very well on cargo. And they're playing very aggressive this round. Lots of pre-fire, a big push from Excella, there we go. Okay,
Yeah.
and then they pulled up.
Just kind of floating here, putting out suppressive fire, trying to cover those lanes. Punkcake looking to get involved. He's peeking angles, trying to find some shots. Interesting smoke to maybe deter momentum.
A lot of utility going out early from the defense, which is kind of risky. You generally want to have some smokes and some flashes to try and block the objective.
I think Beefy was trying to rotate away from his position there. Nep finds an insane angle from that right side. That's a huge pickup because now we're into that 5v4, things favoring OJC.
I mean, it could always turn around, but I think... Ooh, that was an interesting trade from Nashi and Gabagool all the way like across map.
I'm coming.
Yeah, really a long-range trade. Parzival picks up a huge one inside the tunnel. A trade here between Punkcake and Nep. Nep gets a big kill. Parzival gets picked up. Shenzu goes down. CK on a flank. Driver of car seems to be aware of the rotation. Gets the res on a Punkcake. CK doesn't take shots. There he gets the kill onto one. Punkcake gonna swing around. Gets the res onto Parzival. CK could cap.
He's capping now. They got to get back to the objective, and I think it's done. Actually, I think it's done. It's a cap.
There it is. CK with the kills, the cap, the Series W, OJC.
Bravo, OJC. I mean, what was that? 2-3 caps they got this? I mean, glorious plays there.
Yeah, a lot of caps coming in today out of both squads. I mean, just a overall wild back and forth that we got to tune in here for the Division 3 finals. And it's what I was hoping for. You know, you couldn't get any better, right? A best of three, a great back and forth, nonstop, crazy plays, wild trades, great back and forth. Wow. I hope everyone in venues and across all the different streaming platforms enjoyed that one, because I know I did.
Yeah, I mean, you just saw probably one of the best games of Onward that we've had this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, I agree. It's you know a good cap off, to say the least, to the Hiatus tournament, which expertly run by James Boak. Thank you so much for organizing and structuring all of that. Also, a shout out to all the mods that have assisted for it. Been a nice little bit of Onward. I couldn't have gone 4 weeks without Onward. I'll tell you that right now. I need to be watching. I need to be casting. I need to be tuning in.
Oh yeah, and I mean, this was definitely a good cap off, as you said. I mean, two teams top of their game. Couldn't ask for better.
Yeah, it honestly has me excited about going into to next week with 1-8. I'm looking forward to what we get out of this regular season, because that's when teams start to practice again. You get kind of back into the swing of things. The Hiatus tournament, maybe teams weren't necessarily putting in that full effort, but they definitely will when it comes time for regular league ops. So looking forward to that kicking back up again. And I mean, yeah, what a fantastic way to go out for Division 3. If you are tuning in, you're still here, a reminder to come back tomorrow. We have Division 1 finals, I believe, at 12 p.m. PST. Is that right? And then Division 2 finals at 3 or 4. I could be wrong on that. Am I right on that?
I'm checking right now.
Double check the hours for me.
I believe you are correct. We are looking at Division 2 finals with Theta at 3 PST and Division 1 finals with Sleepy as an analyst and Nightfire and Radarhead at 12 PST. So definitely tune in for those, because those are this was Division 3.
Yeah, come on, it's only going to get better. You're going to see even more. I mean, I didn't see anything here that beginners have shown up. You know, beginners have shown strats that nobody else has done in 1.8, and that final is going to be wild. So that's going to be a great way to kick things off tomorrow. I'm sure I'm going to have no voice by the end of the week. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean, these are some good games. There's a lot to call out. There's a lot to find. I mean, just battles across map.
We're not going to dwindle around too much longer, but a brief moment to shout out again everyone that's tuned in to chat. Do appreciate you. I don't have the dashboard open, so I can't give specific names, but I'm sure all the people that love me were tuning in. Also, a shout out to everyone in venues, Facebook, YouTube. Again, we appreciate you stopping by. Make sure to tune in next week. And a shout out to all of our sponsors. You've seen them ticking across the old feed here for a while, but B Haptics, Rebuff Reality, Fix Gaming, ProTube VR, VR Cover, Cyber Shoes. We appreciate all of the sponsors that end up giving prizes to the league. And a shout out to all the mods, obviously, for contributing and helping organize. That's going to be it for us here on the desk. My name has been Nightfire with 2 E's, my co-caster Snooper. Send him a fax. We'll see you all tomorrow for more Hiatus Tournament Finals.
Later.